Sonad Project was founded by myself in 2007. The use of arts, chamber music in particular, but all the arts in the crossing of human divides was a profound and powerful experience. And our concept is we would like every person literally on the face of the earth to have the opportunity to experience what it means to cross human divides.
I've been in the authors group.
Well, this year we played the Brahms Sextet.
I'm in the composers group.
I'm in the Mendelssohn Octet.
I'm in the authors group.
I coach the Dectet.
Me and the other authors have been working on short stories. The first few days we generated a lot of new ideas from prompts that encouraged us to take the imaginative leap.
I go into the day not knowing what's gonna come onto the page, and I come out with a seed of a story or half of a story, something that I didn't expect.
I think the best part of working in the sextet was getting to understand what everybody wanted to do with the music, and kind of just, sacrificing some of our own beliefs, since we were so independent in our beliefs playing and learning the piece, that we had to sacrifice some of that to, make a more cohesive sound.
We brought completed or mostly completed works, each of us, and basically we've just been rehearsing them and workshopping them and retooling them to try and make them as successful as possible.
We're all just trying to, do justice to what Mendelssohn wrote when he was 15 and try to bring it to life.
We feel blessed by the knowledge that there's power in collaborative arts experiences and arts performances. And what we're doing with Sonad is we're working to expand that throughout the world and to include as many people as possible.
I've been to an artist colony a couple times, and this really reminds me of that same process. When I get to sit down at meals with people who write, with people who dance, and we start to talk, we get, you're inspired by a lot of things that are going on. Now, since the artwork is also going on at the same time, it gives it another layer of activity for you to listen to and be inspired by, and there's a lot of connections going on because of that. Being able to sit there and be involved with that really helps enrich what you're trying to do yourself.
I have got to learn a lot about, the different people in the authors group just from, their own stories, their own life stories, where they came from, what they feel passionate about writing about. So it's kind of cool that we can all come from such different places, and we all kind of have our own stories that we can tell.
We've spent a lot of time in the authors group, going into the composers group and writing fiction inspired by the stories, or inspired by the pieces that they're composing, or sitting in on rehearsal and kind of taking inspiration from what the musicians are doing, or collaborating with the dancers and sort of taking inspiration from them. So kind of extending Sonad's mission to not just crossing cultural divides, but also really trying to collaborate across disciplines. It's something that I'm particularly excited about.
One of the ways that we find we're able to proceed with the arts in particular is if I play chamber music with you, or if I'm doing another arts project, which could be watercolor or it could be a dance piece, that there's something about sharing that experience which makes us become friends. And so the idea is that being enemies is the furthest thing from our minds. And so that's the quote from Abraham Lincoln is profoundly interesting, and it points out what is in fact obvious, which is that if we share an experience of creating great beauty and so doing crossing human divides, we become friends. Whatever disagreements or differences we have become non-existent, and to the extent that we may have even started from a place of diversity or a place where in fact people were enemies, that disappears.
The simple fact that you can become friends with anybody. You're presented with an opportunity to stretch expand your innate beauty as a human being, and collaborate with people that you may have never met before in creative endeavor. No, it's just wonderful that we can share this time together.